It's just gone lunchtime. This is All Angles here on eNCA. Good afternoon. I'm Masakhorahlaga. It is that time of the day when we give you an update on how far some of the stories we've been following up for you on channel today have advanced. Here's your lunchtime update. Our reporters are out and about bringing you the latest on today's top stories. I'm joined by Dasen Thathiah. He is in Durban for us. Heidi Giokos is in Johannesburg and Nobesuthu Hejana is in Cape Town. Dasen, I'm going to start with you. You've been covering the fraud and corruption trial against former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede and her 21 co-accused. Now, proceedings have had to be postponed again today because of a fear for a witness's safety.
Yeah, there have been a few delays. In fact, last week we saw those delays. Court had adjourned on Thursday and it was meant to return today. So that did happen, but the initial issue to be dealt with was that of legal representation for 3 of the accused. So that's a matter that's been resolved. But the bigger issue now is the implications for the witnesses, because one of the witnesses that was meant to testify, in fact a witness that should have testified today, she claims that her home was shot at the weekend, and that has created fear. As a result of that, she wasn't able to be here today to begin that testimony. Apparently, there was a shot that was fired at her home. A bullet was lodged in some part of her home. It came through a window. Fortunately, her and her family were not harmed. There is a criminal investigation, an investigation into the attempted murder that is currently taking place. But what we heard in court today was the state putting it on record, saying that this will now cause something of a delay because they had prepared the next few witnesses for this trial. Last week we saw a number of technical witnesses, so to speak, talking about how they had dealt with certain documents and the tender process. And that was expected to continue with this particular witness, who was also from the municipality, also an administrative officer. And the other witnesses that should have followed are also from the municipality, and they too now have expressed to the state that they are worried about their safety. So they may not testify at all, or certainly not right now. What this all really means then is that there is going to be somewhat of a delay going forward. The defense is saying that they want the trial to continue. They want the state to bring other witnesses besides the ones that were scheduled to testify. But we will hear on Wednesday whether that will in fact happen, because that's when the court has ordered the state to give feedback on whether they are able to proceed. And if we don't proceed here on Wednesday, then it will certainly happen on Friday.
All right, Heidi, with you, we finally saw the arrests of the 8 VIP protection officers seen on cell phone footage assaulting motorists on the N1 highway here in Johannesburg. Now, today they make their first court appearance in the Randburg Magistrates Court. That's where you are. Have you seen them in the dock yet?
Yes, we did see them in the dock just briefly, Masakho, but that was only just to get certain formalities out of the way in terms of media access. We have been granted media access, and we will be allowed to record court proceedings when the matter is officially called into the court roll. We do know that the 8 stand accused, or are rather being charged of assault, pointing a firearm, and malicious damage to property. There was some sort of reluctance from their legal representatives in terms of not being wanted to be filmed on camera, to protect their identity, and the magistrate here indicating that there is none of that sort. They can wear their masks if they want to, but it is in the public interest, given the nature of this particular story and the public outcry, given the fact that they are being accused of assaulting civilians. We do know that it's 8 VIP protection members of the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile. They were caught on camera, or rather you had a citizen recording them basically removing those civilians out of the vehicle and allegedly assaulting them. So we will possibly hear this court case at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. We do know that the magistrate is dealing with a number of other matters, but we did briefly see them in the dock, all masked up, Masakho. Basically you cannot even recognize recognize them. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We do know that there has been an indication of a possible bail application, but only from one of the accused. The state has not received any other bail application, indication or affidavit at this particular point, so we'll have to wait and see if that comes when the matter is indeed called to the court roll, and the state has already indicated that they will be opposing bail.
All right. Nobesuthu, let me come to you. The 7 billion rand project to expand the Cape Town International Airport runway that was put on hold back in 2020, of course, due to COVID-19, has resumed. We understand that residents living close to the airport are opposing being relocated to make way for this project. How are the consultations going, and do residents have any knowledge of where they could be relocated to?
Certainly, Masejo, we do understand that a memorandum of agreement was signed back in 2013 between the city of Cape Town and eNCA, and that was to ensure that the land near the airport will be made available for the renovations of the airport due to the traffic that the international airport was experiencing at the time. But due to COVID-19, those projects had to be stopped, and we know that it's 3 communities, the Freedom Farm, Malawi Camp, and also Blikkiesdorp, that are not far from the airport. In fact, where we are at the Freedom Farm, which is meters away from the airport. So the residents here, some are willing to be relocated, others who have livestock have concerns that where they will be moved in an area called Symphony Way, they will not be granted an opportunity to continue with their farming, and they were also saying that it's very close to the roads, and also others are fearing for crime in that particular area of Delft. So some residents here voicing out that there have been those consultations, but they were done about 3 or 4 years ago. But after that time, they have not yet had any updates from the city or the airport. And one gentleman that I spoke to, Mr. Ruben Duprez, who was telling me that he has been staying here for more than 30 years, and he has grandchildren and his family around here. The children are attending school nearby, and his concerns is that some people who were moved back about 3 years ago, that they came back because of the livestock, and people in that particular area were complaining that the chickens were waking them up very early in the morning, something that he's also concerned about. He's saying that he's not willing to let go of his lifestyle because that's the only way he's able to provide for his family.
Yeah, my sister, crime is the most. Crime up there is too much, gangsterism. We are very much safer here than we're gonna be up there. Because my daughter, she lives there with her 3 children. It's not nice. Grow up children in that area because it's compact space. There's no space for you to breathe. When you run in the road or you are in the next door neighbor's yard, we are living on top of each other there. We didn't live like that here.
All right, that was your eNCA lunchtime update from all angles with reporters Nobesuthu, Hejana, Dasen Thathiah and Heidi Giokos. Thank you very much, team. Let's leave it there for now.